What's good YouTube? Target here and welcome to another episode of Design and Manage, my City Skylines and Modded Let's Play series. On the last episode we have built this road layout that you can see on the bottom part of the screen, and today I think we can start filling it with some low residential houses. So without further ado, let's start building stuff. Okay, so as I've let you know on the last episode, this new layout is dedicated to low density residential. Mostly, this is going to be our suburbs. And before I start placing some residential, as you can see, we have some demand for commercial and also industrial, so I think that's something we can satisfy right away. First and foremost, I think I'm going to put, to satisfy this commercial demand, I'm going to put some hotels next to this road, right next to the park. And I've been thinking, because this is such a relevant part that is going to be filled with hotels, I think I can make yet another entrance to the park, just like the one I have over here. I think I'm going to place it at about this location because I have quite a bit of empty space. I'm going to mimic this style by putting a secondary gate or a side gate and bridging to the pathway layout so that the hotels over here have a way to enter the park, or at least they have an easier access. So I'm gonna do that real quick and I'll meet you guys in a couple of seconds so we can resume the zoning of the hotels. Okay, I've managed to place the side gate and now we just need to find a way to connect it to the main pedestrian pathway. So I think instead of making a bridge, perhaps I can make a ramp. So I'm gonna start at about, first and foremost, let me expand the terrain to this side, and now I'm gonna make a ramp at about over here, and I think this should be more than enough. So let's just check it out. Let me select the pathway. Here we go. Oh, it's not perfectly aligned just like I wanted it. Maybe just make a few modifications. Okay, now we can go all the way over here and all the way over there, and I think that's pretty smooth. Really like it. So maybe I'm just gonna delete this segment and maybe I can even turn this into a curve. So how about this? I think this is pretty square and now we should just connect it back. Yeah, that's amazing. I like it. So let's just smoothen up the terrain a bit, make it look more natural. I'm gonna do it like this and this area as well, and make sure this area doesn't seem like a square. Perhaps I can expand the terrain to this area and smoothen up a little bit over there. Okay, and maybe I can just bring it a bit over here as well. And there you go. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. So now let's just start the zoning of the hotels. Okay, so this is going to be very straightforward. I just need to zone some offices all along this line. But I want to try something out. I want to see how different sized hotels look like. So I'm gonna make a few 4-block hotels. I want to make a few 3-block hotels and 2-block hotels and also some 1-block hotels, and I want to see exactly how they look like so that I can choose a model that will fit good in this particular road. Alright, here we have the different size hotels. Initially I didn't think that the full size hotels would look good because this is very close to the highway, so that's why I wanted to try out these new different sized buildings. But now that I look at it, it doesn't really look that bad, so I think I'm gonna zone this entire thing with full size hotels. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna delete every single hotel that we have over here, and I'm gonna zone all of this with some fully sized hotels. And perhaps we can even make some small ones over here. That will look pretty good. Perhaps I can take advantage of this small gap to put in a park. I think I'm gonna place a plaza. Everybody loves plazas, so I'm gonna put one right about over there. Pretty good. And something else that I should do, perhaps I should connect this pathway as well. So let me just see if I can find it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And let's see, where can I put it? Maybe I can make it curve, just like I have this. So kinda like this. I wonder if this is going to work out. Oh, we kinda have a pillar over here, so that's probably not a very good idea, but let's try it out. Okay, this is not going to work out. Hold on a second. Alright, and there we go. I think this looks pretty good. It's very smooth. I'm talking about the slope, of course. And now that we are at it, I think we can take a look at our hotels. I think they look very good in the skyline. This is a pretty nice view from over here. I really like it. And when I was building this, I saw something that caught my attention, which is this cable car line that we have over here, and it's pretty much abandoned. So what I think I'm gonna do is connect this end up to this entrance of the park, pretty much, so that people can get off the cable car and get into the park. So that's something that I'm gonna do right away. Let's just do it on the spot. And I need to grab this. Perhaps we can even start with the end of the line stop, which can be put, let's put it over here and replace that particular building. That's okay. And we can connect it over, let's see, over here. And okay, what's going on? I don't like this. Maybe I can just delete this and connect it directly. Okay, now this is really annoying me. Ah, finally, there we go. I managed to connect everything, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We got the working cable car connection. However, we still have some demand for commercial, so I think I'm gonna finish up the zoning of offices, and I'm gonna place a few more over here, and perhaps they can end up right about this area. I think that's pretty good. And I'm also gonna put some commercial buildings, low density of course, right next to this monorail station, because this is an area of high volume of passengers, so to say. So I think I can convert all of these into small shops. And yeah, that's pretty good, I like it. Alrighty, so this area is now filled with shops, and we're on the road of having a very busy commercial zone on this location as well. And before I start zoning some residential and start developing the suburbs, I know that we have been trying to do that for quite a while right now, but we have some demand for industrial as well that I need to satisfy. So, first and foremost, let me put this on 1 speed. No need to have it on 3 speed. But to fulfill this industrial demand, I'm pretty much just gonna place some offices. So I think it's time for us to keep developing the new Highland. A few episodes ago, I've placed some offices on this location as well. And I think we can expand the zoning up to this area over here and perhaps even activate the monorail. And yes, I know this crater was caused by a meteor a couple of episodes ago, and I still need to address the situation, which will be done at a future stage, of course. But for now, let me just start zoning this area. I need to develop this pedestrian pathway first and foremost. I'm really picky with my pathways, as you would probably already guessed. I think I want to bring it all the way over here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let me just check how I've done this on this side. Okay, this is pretty much just a straightforward connection. Perhaps I can connect it right about over here. And I can connect it directly to the endpoint if this game allows me to. Doesn't seem to be the case as usual. So let me just disable all the guys and just keep the angle. And now I can try and do this again. And let's try it out right now and just connect it directly. Alright, pretty good, I like it. So now we can just pretty much start zoning some offices in this location, and I think I'm just gonna zone the entire thing all of a sudden. So let's just start putting some offices over here, fill everything with offices, and I need to mimic this leisure situation that I've done over here by placing 2 parks. I'm gonna do the exact same thing over here. So, okay, there we go. Alright, so now all the zoning spaces are filled with offices, which is a great thing. I have also added some bus stops around this location, and I've also activated this monorail station to add more ways or more possible ways for citizens to get into this area. Before I wrap up this area and go back to the mainland where I will develop the suburbs, there is something that I want to do over here, which is convert this into an IT cluster district. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think it will look very well in this location. I think this is the most adequate location to have that type of office specialization. So I'm gonna grab my district tool and I am gonna draw an entire district covering this particular area. Perhaps I can even grab this small tool and zone all of this. Okay, district is drawn. So now I gotta apply the IT cluster specialization, but before that, you guys know what's coming. I'm gonna name this district after one of my followers, and I've already picked a name, and I'm gonna name it after SMK Samuka. So I'm just gonna type your name, and hopefully I will not mess it up completely, but it seems that's what's happening already. So let me just try and focus on this. There we go, that's your name, properly spelled out. And because I am very original, I'm just gonna name it Samuka's IT Center. Yeah, that's really great. And you know what, I think I can even simplify. I'm just gonna call it Samuka's IT Center. I think it sounds better. Hopefully you will agree with me. And there we go. That's pretty much your new district. And now I just need to apply the specialization, and there we go. Ah, yes. The size of these buildings never cease to amaze me. This looks great. And I think it's gonna look even greater when we add some more services around this area. But going back to the mainland, I think we're gonna wrap up that location for now. We still have a lot of demand for offices, so what I think I can do is actually come at around this location over here, next to the downtown, and dezone some of our residential and turn it into offices, because I think this is an appropriate location for offices. So let's just dezone this and add a few more offices, and perhaps I can do the same over here. I'm gonna lose a lot of population, I know that, but it will pay off in the future, I'm certain. And if I ever need some more residential, I'll just dezone these offices and rezone them with residential all over again. While we'll let this new shift in demand happen, that is actually something that I want to share with you guys. It's just another one of my tips. So on the last episode I've mentioned that these pathways look good, but people cannot cross from one way to the other because there's no crosswalk, so to say. The nearest one is at about over here. And somebody mentioned that I could just grab the road tool and upgrade it to a different type of road that will create a crosswalk. And that's actually something that it didn't even cross my mind, but I think it's very useful and I think we are going to use this trick. So I even think we can go further than that. So as you can see, that when I upgraded this road, the crosswalk was pretty much over here, but I think we can control that. If I make a road at about this location over here, and now I delete it and I upgrade it, I can pretty much make sure that the crosswalk will happen over here, right next to the pedestrian pathway, which is exactly what I want. So that's something that I'm gonna do throughout this entire layout. I'm gonna grab every single point where the pathway touches the road and I'm gonna give it a crosswalk so that people can cross from one way to the other. So I'm gonna do that and I'll meet you guys in a couple of seconds. Alright guys, I think I've come up with a very interesting solution for our pathways. So I've pretty much made this double connection over here, which I think it looks quite interesting. It has a very big downfall, which is it creates this double crosswalk, which, well, I'm not really a fan of, but overall I think it looks pretty symmetric and I like it. And if you even look at it from a wider scope, you can see that all of these connections look pretty good. It seems like a proper endpoint to the pathway, which I really like. So I think we're gonna keep that and see how well it turns out and how well it looks like when we finally start adding some buildings. And hopefully, let me just see if I forget anything. That doesn't seem to be the case. I think we have covered everything. So yeah, I think we can start signing some buildings. Oh, and by the way, I have converted this road into a road with bicycle lanes as well, because as I've said, this is going to be the place that people are going to use to cycle from one part of the district to the other. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. And now it seems that we are finally starting to have a bit of demand for residential, so I think we should start taking advantage of that. And I'm going to select my low density residential zone and I'm going to start with a small block because we already have this area developed. Maybe we can start perhaps over here. Maybe I can zone this entire block. How about that? Ah yes, such a friendly neighborhood. Wouldn't you like to live here? I sure would. This really looks great. And before I forget, there's something that I should do, which is this thing that I've done with the pedestrian pathways. I should do the same over here, so right next to the monorail station, for obvious reasons, of course. So I think first and foremost I need to find a good way or a good place for a pathway. I think I'm gonna put one over here and I'm gonna make a connection here and a connection there. Pretty cool. I'm gonna convert this to a normal road and finally I'm gonna have a pathway right along the middle so that people can pretty much cross from this monorail station all the way up to here. And it's quite unfortunate that I cannot center this, but Oh well, this will have to do, unfortunately. And I should also do the same at about over here, now that I think about it, at around this side gate that we have placed a few minutes ago. So that's something that I should do pretty much right away. So let me grab the roads, and I need to make a connection, one over here and another one over there. Over there, yeah, there we go. And I'm demolishing everything, unfortunately, but that's fine. And this one, thankfully, we are able to center it. And it looks very amazing, I like it. So let's just rebuild this entire thing and add all the offices back again. Okay, let me just delete this, okay, and let everything rebuild naturally. And now that we still have some demand for residential, I think you can expand this even further. I'm gonna add yet another residential block right about over there, pretty good. And this is also a good time to start thinking about services. So there's some things that I can remember right off the bat. One of those things are actually parks. So yeah, this area is pretty much uncovered. So I think I'm gonna have first and foremost a plaza. I think this one will be a very nice fit. So maybe over here. Oh yeah, look at that. It's perfectly. I even think I'm gonna go as far as putting two of these side by side. How does that look? That's pretty okay, I like it. And I think this area is asking for a park. So, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, I'm not even going to think twice. I'm gonna place a park right about over there, pretty good. And I should also start worrying about cemeteries and... oh my god, it seems that I have almost planned this geometrically. Look at this. Look at this amazing fit. Okay, and that's gonna be it for now. And perhaps I can even, let's see, should I start placing some firehouses and police stations? I think I'm gonna leave that to a future stage, but one of the things that I want to touch on is actually schools. I am gonna place an elementary school on this area over here, okay, and I think I want to put a high school right in this avenue. Okay, over here. In fact, I think I want it to face the avenue. I think it will look better. Because we are in such a roll right now, I think I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity to expand this city even more. I'm gonna start with a fire station that I'm gonna put right on this location, right next to the avenue. Pretty good. And I also wanna place a shelter, which I'm gonna put right about over here. I think that's a good place for it. And I need to draw an evacuation route. And because this is a low density, I think one of these is going to be enough for the entire area. So I'm gonna start by placing some stops at around key locations, which are right next to the pedestrian pathways. And some other stops over here, another one over here, another one over there. And yeah, I think we can come over here as well, and we can wrap it at around this location. Pretty good. And of course we are also going to need some public transport, so I'm gonna place our first bus route that will pretty much go from this monorail station and will cover this entire area. I think I can make an internal route that pretty much wraps at around this entire location and comes at about over here. Okay, another stop over there and wraps around over there. And now I think I can make another line that goes clockwise that is pretty much external. So instead of going through the insides, it will go through the outsides of the city and will touch on these key locations. Alright, perfect. And because we still have a bit of demand for residential, I am gonna finish up the zoning of this particular block. And I'm also gonna add some houses over there. Now that we have some population on this area, I think this is a good opportunity to see how people are interacting with our pedestrian pathway network and see if they are interacting with the pathways that I have created for them. And yeah, it seems that people are using the crosswalks. That's a great thing to see. Oh, and it seems that I've managed to put the bus stops right at this very little segment of road. And oh, I'm not sure if I like this, of the bus stops to pick up the passengers. I'm gonna have to think about this layout. I like how it looks, but I'm really not sure if I want this to happen. I think that's something we can take care of right away, so I'm gonna move the stops away from those sensitive areas. I'm gonna put them on these particular locations. And we don't need this stop. It's not doing anything over there. We can drag this stop all the way over here. This stop is very well positioned, so is this one. This one is not, so we'll just get rid of it. And this one is also not, so let's place it over there. And yeah, these ones are EDS. Cannot have this. There we go. And I also don't like how we have these many crosswalks right next to each other, so I think in these areas where we have two crosswalks next to each other, I think I can just upgrade this to a normal type of road, and this thing will get pretty much taken care of. I think we have another similar situation at around over here, and we can take care of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for today. I am really satisfied with what we have accomplished on this episode, a lot of progress. I hope you have enjoyed this episode as well. I'm still not sure what we are going to do on the next one, but perhaps we can either continue the development of this new layout, we can continue with our amusement park, or we can even continue the development of the new island. We have a lot of things to do, a lot of projects, and I just cannot wait until we start tackling all of those things. But anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If so, please consider giving it a like, it will also help my channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow the development of this particular city. If you have any suggestions for things that I should build in the future, please leave a comment. And finally, if you want to connect with me online, don't forget to follow me on social media. Thank you so much for watching guys, and as always, have fun!